chair. I'm a model.
It's your microphone. Bend down some more now. Your hand.
I mean, I came for an event in Warri here for a fashion show. And luckily to me, while I was going for an event, while dressed up, I wanted to perform on stage for modeling event. On my way going to the event, some police people attacked me and took me here to the police station.
Are you a male or a female?
I'm a male.
Then why are you dressed like a female? Just tell us.
I dressed as a female because I'm a model. I wanted to perform on stage.
If I may ask you, as an actor, you're supposed to dress at the venue, not outside the venue. So what exactly changed?
Okay.
What is wrong with Nigerian youths? Today, you are seeing a video of 100 men, in fact, 100 gay, going for an event, all-night event. And when they were intercepted, many of them started lying. They keep lying. The video you're watching, you see the lies. You can't be proud of what you're doing. You cannot be proud of what you're doing. You can't be proud of who you are. You are a gay, and you're not proud of it. If they ask you, you say, I am going for a vacation. I am a fashion designer. This one is, I just put it on to. Who are you deceiving? You can't be proud of who you are. I am ashamed of you. If that person is your brother, if that person is your son, I'm ashamed of you as a mother, as a father. I'm ashamed of you as a sibling. That you cannot even caution your brother to stop doing nonsense that the constitution of Nigeria did not permit. This country, as long as Nigeria is concerned, gay is banished, gay is abolished, does not exist. Lesbianism does not exist. Except when you guys become president and senators and House of Rep members, you amend the constitution to yourself. Like the way US and other countries did. That they can accommodate you. You not want to. Using your man nash. What happened to all the women? You're no longer interested in women. You are not interested in your fellow man. What is wrong with you? You are so disgusting. You are so disgusting. Look at some of them looking like a woman. Some of them, they even dress like women. You ask them, hey, I was called to come and do fashion parade. I was called to. Who are you deceiving? You're not proud of who you are. Show me you be gay. Tell them that you be gay now. Say, I am a gay. Yes, I'm proud of it. Then I know where you go there. You're not shivering. You don't want to say who you are. With shame of you. With shame on you. You cannot be proud of who you are. I'm ashamed of you. You better repent. See all the totoed everywhere. You don't see them. Now to become gay, make you the wear pampers, adult pampers. Now wanna make adult pampers cost for this country. No, make adult pampers cost for this country. Our aged mothers and fathers who are supposed to, they were designed to wear that. That pampers were designed for old people. Those mother and grandfather, aged men. You guys are making them uncomfortable using their pampers. Can you imagine a man? If you just what is happening? What is happening? Tomorrow you want to give birth or you go and buy somebody's child as your child. I've been like this, you go there till you die. No husband. Okay, you don't marry husband. We no fit born. Even US, I will show you another video for US. US is even if you know the kind of law where US won't pass for this kind of thing. Even minor, they feel transgender minor.
Mr. Chairman, and thank you, Secretary Becerra. Thank you for being here today. I appreciate you coming before the committee. To start off, as a Secretary of Health and Human Services, can you define for this committee what is a man?
You're looking at one.
Great. So you are a man. I like that. Can you tell me, can men get pregnant?
Unless you know something I don't, I think the answer is pretty obvious.
What is that answer, sir?
I'm asking you, is there something you know that I don't know that would say that a man...
Well, I'm asking what you know. Can men get pregnant?
I'm not aware of it.
Okay. Well, Mr. Secretary, materials coming from your department, you've referred to mothers as birthing persons, replacing that title with...
Are mothers not persons?
Mothers are persons, but it seems to be more inclusive, like you're trying to include another gender in that.
I'm all about inclusion, Congresswoman.
There you go. Well, just as a mother of 4 boys, I'm not necessarily offended at that. I am a person, but it's just unscientific and absurd
How so?
to include men in that. If you're going to be inclusive, if you're going to be inclusive in birthing persons, yes.
Well, but it seems to me that you're
Let's
trying to
back up.
define the term.
Reclaiming my time. Can men get pregnant? So then we don't need to include them in this. Mothers are mothers. Moving forward, Mr. Secretary, I want to read for you from a document from your office, the Office of Population Affairs. It says in here, and I quote, "Gender-affirming care encompasses many facets of healthcare needs and support. It has been shown to increase positive outcomes for transgender and non-binary children." Mr. Secretary, what is a transgender child?
A child in America is a child in America, and I hope you and I can love that child just as much as we
Can you
love our own
define what a
children.
transgender child is?
That's a child in America, and it's an American citizen child who needs the services and love just the way any other child does.
Mr. Secretary, do you believe that a child is capable of making life-altering decisions to maim themselves?
So let me just say to you that I don't agree with your premise, but what I will say to you is children know much about themselves, and with the help of
Do you
their
believe that children are capable of making the decision? Mr. Secretary, what is a transgender child?
a child in America is a child in America, and I hope you and I can love that child just as much as we
Can you
love our own
define what a
children.
transgender child is?
That's a child in America, and it's an American citizen child who needs the services and love just the way any other child does.
Mr. Secretary, do you believe that a child is capable of making life-altering decisions to maim themselves?
So let me just say to you that I don't agree with your premise, but what I will say to you is children know much about themselves, and with the help of
Do you
their
believe that children are capable of making the decision to self-mutilate?
again, I don't necessarily accept the
Well,
premise of your
Mr. Secretary, I
question.
mean, you have gender-affirming care for young people, so this is something that
I
you
don't
have
equate
looked over.
gender-affirming care to mutilation. So if that's where you're going, then you're not going to get the answer you want.
So, Mr. Secretary here, can you tell me if there have been mastectomies, mastectomies, penectomies, or hysterectomies on children?
Well,
And have taxpayers funded that?
so I could probably use the help of my wife, who's an OBGYN, who could talk more, or maybe Dr. Burgess could help us out here.
For gender-affirming care, to be included in that?
I'm sorry, pose the question one more time, please.
In this gender-affirming care, Mr. Secretary, have there been tax dollars put forward to fund mastectomies, penectomies, and hysterectomies for sex reassignment purposes for minors with gender dysphoria?
So Americans are entitled to receive healthcare services. If they are entitled to receive any of the services that you just mentioned, then it would be against the law for us to try to deny them that care.
So for the record, you favor HHS's funding being able for sex reassignment, for surgeries on minors?
I will do everything I can to defend any American, including children, whether or not they fit the categories you have mentioned or not, and if they talk about gender-affirming care, I am there to protect the rights of any American.
Mr. Secretary, I want to turn to a different document. Your office released this gender-affirming care is trauma-informed care. In this document, you clearly state that gender-affirming care includes puberty blockers, hormones, and surgeries for minor children. You go on to assure parents that there is no scientifically sound reason to doubt hormones and surgeries are helpful to minor children. You also discuss this in a document that the potential for removing children from their parents is on the table if they're not providing gender-affirming care. Mr. Secretary, do you think that parents who believe in two genders only should have their children removed from them?
Mr. Secretary, you can answer or respond in writing. Her time has expired.
I can respond very quickly. Congresswoman, I believe in supporting and protecting transgender youth. I believe that they, along with their parents and their caregivers, will make the best decisions. And I would really urge that politicians like you stay out of their business.
I would urge that children get to stay with their parents. No matter
Gentlewoman's
what
time has
parents they-
expired. The committee
Mr.
will...
Chairman, may I please have unanimous?
No, you
unanimous
can't. No, you
consent
may not. We're on a very
to
tight time frame, and there are
Enter
votes
this into
being
the
called.
congressional record.